Oh, you're back. I can only think of one reason why you're here. I suppose you want me to tell you more of my story, don't you? Yeah, well, I grew up, like we all do. Unless you're Celestia. Seriously, is she immortal or what? I think she's immortal. Seriously, she doesn't even get wrinkles. But I went to school in Clydesdale, because that's kind of where I live. And I had a best friend there, another Pegasus, a little light blue filly with a gorgeous snowy white mane, and her name was Snowfall. Some say she's actually a descendant of Snowfall Frost themselves. Mind-blowing. Legends. You never know what to believe. Well, she was my best friend, because we were kind of both the shy, awkward ponies sitting in the corner and not really sure what to do with ourselves half the time. Yeah. And the thing is, we were also the last ponies in our class without a kitty mark. Well, that changed one day. We all went outside. Winter was coming. It was almost time for the winter break, and the snow was already gently falling down. I know we live in the sky, but even we get to have some snow. You just put the clouds above the clouds. Seriously, does no pony ever think of that? Yeah, well, that kind of used to be a thing when I was a kid, but they don't really do that so much anymore. Maybe they thought a second layer of clouds above the first was just strange. And she got her key mark in making snow. It was a beautiful star snowflake. And my best friend had her key mark. And I was the only pony who didn't. But that too was about to change with our trip to Ponyville. Once again, me, my mum and my dad went down to Ponyville for heartwarming to see my uncle. I don't really remember my auntie too well, but I definitely remember my cousins. One of them was about my age. His name was Sky Shredder. He was a dark blue coat with a frizzy red mane. And he had recently got his cutie mark, so he was slightly older than me. In music. Like most of the family. It was a pair of two guitars. Crossed a bit like those Skull and Crossbones and Pirates. My uncle's always watching pirate movies. At least the comedy ones, that is. And then my other cousin was actually a unicorn, which my whole family is in Pegasi for generations, so don't ask me where she got that horn. But she was a very, very pale lavender with a lavender mane, and her name was Shooting Star. She was a really shy and really timid, like, I'm shy. I thought I was shy, but I could be really loud and energetic. But she is just like, that to the extreme. But without the loud and energetic part, you get where I'm going with this. But soon, I found out that Ponyville had been sort of falling into a bit of disarray. Everybody was just a bit gloomy and definitely not in the holiday spirit, that's for sure. And the plants were starting to die. Things were just slightly off, slightly askew, and nobody could really put their hoof on it. But one day, me and my two cousins were playing with a ball when it flew past the hedges. And I went to go get it because I was lonely. I fancied a bit of trying because I was the closest, and why am I going into detail on why I was the one to go fetch a ball? And I heard these two passerbys talking about the town. And they said, oh, the town, it's doing so bad. There's no way we can save it now. Ponyville's going to collapse. And then the other one said, it's not over yet. My grandma always told me this legend about a rare gift called the Song of Hope. Apparently, it's a rare gift that some ponies are born with, though. Like I said, it's rare. Apparently, wherever that pony sings, they can bring anything back to life and bestow joy upon all that hear it. Legends, am I right? Legends, legends, legends. I never really believed a word of it, just carried on going to go get the ball. When I bumped into a filly my age, she was light green with a wavy light green and dark green mane and beautiful brown eyes. Her name was Pearl, and she didn't have a key mark like me. Little did I know that she was about to become my best friend for life. I said, hi. She said, oh, hi. And passed me my ball. And then we sort of started a conversation, and oh my goodness, it's all a blur. I was so happy about making a new friend. And we were walking backwards, and then we all played ball together. But then I heard something about a singing competition in the town the day before, in a few days. And somehow, I just knew I had to enter. And that I did. Before I knew it, I was walking onto that stage. A spotlight shined down upon me. It was a dead of night. Every pony's eyes were on me. Yet I didn't feel any pressure. It just all came naturally. I burst into the song that I wrote. But then, miraculously, I found that every time I hit a note, a tiny, almost invisible shockwave of pink energy washed out upon the crowd, and they were all cheering, and I looked, and I saw the flowers on the trees had started to bloom with pink magic, and a magical glow surrounded the town and brought it back to life, and everybody was happier than they could remember. And then that conversation between the two elderly mares as I went to retrieve the ball came back to me, and I realised what was going on. And then the song was over, everything was restored. I walked over to my parents, gave them a hug, and right there on my flank it appeared in a flash of vibrant light, my key mark, a red heart with a microphone. It was the happiest day in my life. And little did I know, a few days later, after many rushed celebrations, hugging Pearl, and promising each other we'd write until we saw each other again, I found myself bounding into my classroom and back in Clydesdale, knocking over about half the desks, and knocking my teacher's glasses right off her muzzle. And then she was like, "Dashran, is something wrong?" And I was like, "Nothing is wrong. It's this." I lifted up my wing to reveal the symbol, glowing with vibrant light, and a heavenly choir started to play in my head. And then every pony went, "Congratulations!" And over the break, I told the whole story. Little did I know that this was only the beginning.